Intimate partner homicide. We've been talking about it the last 2 weeks. Well, sort of. 2 weeks ago, I put out a video as a tribute and a memorial to women who have been killed by intimate partners or ex-intimate partners in 2020. Last week, we talked about risk factors. I gave 12 risk factors that let you know that your life is potentially in danger with somebody. This week, we're going to go over 5 myths to intimate partner homicide. Myth number 1, intimate partner homicide is a crime of passion. If you watch movies and TV shows, they will show you that this person was just so in love and they just had this moment of rage and passion and they just couldn't help themselves. They lost their mind temporary insanity, right? They don't know what they're doing. That is not true. That is a myth. Actually, intimate partner homicide is a crime of possession, not a crime of passion. Intimate partner homicide is most generally premeditated. It is most generally not done in the heat of the moment, and it's a crime because men, historically, don't believe that the woman is valuable at all. Her life is not valuable. Her comfort is not valuable. Her safety is not valuable. So what's the point? He owns her. It's a crime of possession. 2, women who are killed by intimate partners don't reach out for help. That is false. A study whose findings were published by the National Institute of Justice says that they're actually more likely to have reached out for help. I'll link that in the description below. But they came to the conclusion with that study that actually when women are reaching out for help because they're scared, it's actually an indicator that they're in more danger. Because if you have 2 women who are both having the crap beat out of them, okay, we'll just go there, the one that reaches out for help is more likely to be dead than the one that is not. They believe that that means that if they reach out for help, it's because they know that they're in more dire danger. That's very possible because the number 1 sign that you're in danger for intimate partner homicide is that you're afraid for your life, that you believe you're in danger for intimate partner homicide. Number 3, intimate partner homicide is always preceded by physical abuse. A lot of times it is, but it's not always. According to the National Institute for Justice's journal, which I have linked below, a partner's extreme jealousy has been the cause of 40% of intimate partner homicides where there was no violence before. If you watched last week's video, you also know that if the person highly ties their identity to you and they lose you, that's an excellent recipe for intimate partner homicide. That's usually when you get the murder-suicides. They come from that loss of identity when you separate. Most people aren't necessarily violent either beforehand. 4, guns kill people. Wrong. Well, I mean right, but wrong. People kill people. Now, while it is true that if your abuser has access to a firearm, you are actually 500% more likely to die at their hands. So be aware of that. That is significant. Nobody is knocking that. Significant. But I want you to know that strangulation, choking, when that happens, you are 750% more likely to die at their hands, whether you die that time or you're going to die in the future. When they go to that route, when they put their hands on you and are choking you, that is your last step before death. If you survive at that time, you will not survive in the future if you don't get away. Which leads us to number 5. And this is going to seem like I'm not giving hope, and that sucks. That's not what I want. But I do want for you to understand that this is significant. Okay? Number 5, leaving an abusive relationship will end the violence. If you study this stuff at all, you know that actually when you're in the process of leaving and for at least a year after you have left, you are in extreme danger. Everybody doesn't continue to pursue, but I mean, if you look at the markers for these people, they believe they own you. They don't take no for an answer. They don't understand boundaries. Just because you want to leave that relationship doesn't mean that they do, unfortunately. So, when we go back to myth 2, women who are killed by intimate partners often reach out for help. It's a little bit of the chicken and the egg, right? Do they reach out for help because they're more in danger than the people that don't? Or are they more in danger because they reach out? The answer is both. They're reaching out because they're in extreme danger. And when you leave, when you try to get away, if they find out that you reach out to the police, what that is it is taking away control of theirs and giving it back to you. And some abusers will stop at nothing to get control over you again, even if that means your death. So, I don't mean for this video to be super negative. I mean, we're talking about homicide, so it can't be super positive, but it just means you need a plan and you need a support team. Somebody, multiple people. If you leave an abuser and you're at all concerned in any way that they might kill you, don't go to somebody that they know. Don't go to your mom's house. Don't go to your friend Sally's house. If they know her and they've been to her house, you run the risk of your loved ones dying too. You need to go somewhere where they don't know. You need to get help. You need to get support. That's what people like victim advocates and abuse shelters and crisis centers and the National Domestic Violence Hotline are for. It will connect you with a system that your abuser doesn't know. They will connect you with people who are familiar with this stuff, who can validate and support you and do the things necessary to get you out of this system that you're in. You may not know how to do that, but they do. If any of this stuff in the last 3 weeks has resonated with you, if it's touching something somewhere inside of you that says, this sounds like me, or this sounds like my sister, or this sounds like my friend, please reach out. Reach out to the National Domestic Violence Hotline. If it's urgent, call 911. Find a victim advocate. I wish that I could say that all police were trained in how to deal with this. They're not. Some are, and some aren't. It's kind of like playing Russian roulette trying to find one that is. So, the hotline. Start there. You can email me for support. I'm happy to email you back. I'll leave that in the description box below too, but I can't be an immediate, if your life is in danger, call the hotline. Don't do it by yourself. Get tools, tactics, be smart, get help. Stay alive. Until I see you again, stay safe, stay alive. Powerful.